have a DC machine, for example, you have a, I don't know, a pump, and you know this one is going to work at a fixed current. Yes, shifting is good because you know, okay, I should shift it 10 degrees, I'll put it on 10. Whenever this machine is running with 100 amps, this is perfect. But you can see this is not going to work for variable machine, variable load machine. So compensated one is interpole machine. And that was the armature reaction. Armature reaction is going to change this loss. And that way, you are not going to switch the current at the zero. You are going to switch it at something non-zero. Non-zero is going to generate the spark. The spark is going to kill these commutators and these brushes. So this is armature reaction.
Why is compensator better than interpole?
Because this is right next to that. This is right next to this one. This one is going to cancel this. This one is going to cancel this. This one. What we are doing here, we are canceling the resultant. Right? We put one here, central, to cancel all this one, right? But this one is one by one, right? One by one, y by one. You know, we are going, you know, this one focus on this one. This one focus on this one. This one focus on this one. You know? That's the reason that one is better. But it's the most expensive one. Now the last thing, the motor starter. Let's figure out what's the problem with the starting motor, and after that, how we can fix it. If you want to talk about this machine, could be even 4 credit hours course just for this machine, go to whatever detail. But you could just kind of like a table of content, just we are mentioning these things in order to see what is the problem. Now let's see motor starter. I have a DC motor, right? It has an armature winding and this is the load. And here I have my load. So I'm saying it's starting, right? What's the speed? 0. At the beginning, the speed is how much? 0. If the speed is 0, how much is E? 0, right? E is the K flux omega, right? If the speed is 0, E is 0. Now let's look at here. This is the IA. I'm explaining for separately excited machine, but could be for any machine. But I'll explain it for separately excited machine. This is the RA and this is the EA. How much is the IA? I call it IA star. IA in general is right, but at a start, IA star, right? RA usually is very, very small value. Why? Because it's in series with the armature, right? If it's a big value, it's going to cause a lot of losses, right? Now, can somebody tell me what's the problem with this? Let's say this motor is 100 volt. RA is 0.01 ohm. How much is the current? It is like 10,000 amps, right? 10,000 amps. Huge for a 100 volt machine. It's going to kill the machine, right? The problem is we don't have any E, right? And we have a very big voltage divided by pretty small resistance. It's going to be a huge current, right? So if you connect the machine to the fixed source and you don't have any extra resistor in the circuit, well, it's going to kill the machine. There are two ways to fix it. Now we're in century 21, right? most people, they don't use the old method. I'm going to explain it. But the first method is what you can do here. Somebody done. Right? The variable DC source. Yeah, you read the full wave converters, right? With thyristor. Did you or not?
Not yet.
Okay. So you will get that soon, very soon. So when you have a full, you have seen the full wave dye rectifier, right? So basically full wave dye rectifier is like this. And you have an AC source here. You have an AC source here. And you have a DC here, right? When you have a thyristor, it's like this, right? You have thyristor. For the diode is a 2 Vm over pi, right? The voltage here is 2 Vm over pi. Then you have a thyristor, which, what's the difference between thyristor and, you should know this one by now. What's the difference between thyristor and diode? They are the same thing, but the thyristor, you can tell when to turn on, right? Diode, you cannot control it, but thyristor, you can control it. We call that control parameter, we call it firing angle, or alpha. Usually we show it alpha. When you go through this one for the full wave, it's going to end up with find alpha. So alpha can go from 0 to 180. If it's 0, it's like diode. If it's 180, sorry, if it's 90, it can go from 0 to 180. But if its alpha is 90 degrees, how much is this voltage? Basically, when you want to start this one, say, hey, you tell me this is big, it's causing me a problem, I'm going to put my alpha on 0, right? Slowly, I'm going to increase alpha. So, for example, I make alpha 5 degrees. What is going to happen? This voltage, instead of becoming suddenly 100 volt, is going to become 5 volt, right? So 5 volt, okay, 5 divided by 0.1, 50 amps. That is not 10 kilo amps anymore. It's a 50 amps, right? So 50 amps is going to generate torque, right? T is K plus IA. So the motor is going to start to rotate, right? Motor start to rotate, it's going to generate back EMF, right? It's going to reduce the current. So like, now I'm going to go a little bit more on alpha, right? So this is kind of like a positive kind of feedback. Increase alpha, current goes up, the speed goes up, current comes down, and you can go alpha until you go full alpha. You put alpha 0, right? So one way to fix it nowadays, this is better. Use a variable source, right? Variable DC source. You can change this voltage. Instead of starting full voltage, you start with a very low voltage, and gradually you bring up the voltage, right? Now, when we had electric machinery 100 years ago, there was no thyristor, no those kind of things. They needed to fix this problem. What do you suggest? Right. Yeah, let's put this one here. I'm going to draw this one. So now I don't have this choice. Let's say I don't have this choice. I have my VT here. Extra resistor in the circuit, right? And what did I do here? I said, okay, I'll put some alpha here, I'll let it to run a little bit, right? And again, I'll increase the alpha, decrease the alpha, right? So what about here? I put a big resistor in the circuit, right? When the machine runs, now it's gonna limit the current, right? This one was small, but these are not the small, right? I'll put a big resistor in the circuit, right? Limit the current. Machine is going to start to rotate. It's going to build the back EMF, right? And after it reaches to some level, I'm going to move this one to here. Get rid of one stage of resistance, right? Again, let the machine go a little bit faster, right? Get rid of another stage, right? And again, go a little bit faster, go another stage. And when I'm here, they're all out, right? So let's calculate it. How much they are? R1, R2, R3, how much they are? Let's calculate that. So I'm going to explain this one with an example to calculate it from this example. Or before the example, let's put the graph here. I'm going to put it this way. Let's start in yard here, right? So let's say there's a breaker here. Before breaker close the yard here, right? Machine is not rotating, current is zero. I close this breaker. How much is I start? See, when I close this one, the current in the circuit is going to be, this one is zero, right? This one is zero, right? It's going to be Vt divided by Ra plus all this resistor, right? Current is going to jump to that value, right? Current is going to jump to this value. Here. Current is going to go here. I star, right? They tell me this machine is a 100 amp machine. Hey, be careful to not go more than 2 times of the rated current, or I don't know, 1.5 times. It will given to me by the machine manufacturer. Hey, this machine can only handle maximum 2 times of the rated current for a very short time. Very short time, you know. So very short time means if I put it here, I'm not gonna leave it here forever, you know. You know what I'm saying? Actually, it doesn't matter. There is no problem because the speed of this, the current is gonna go down. But here it said, hey, not more than 2 times, not more than 3 times, not more than 1.5 times of the rated current, right? So I select my resistance based on what the company told me. It says, okay, I star. How much is I star? It's a Vs divided by Ra plus R star, right? It says this one should be 1.5 times IN, nominal current, right? So it says nominal current is 100 amps, so 150 amps, right? This voltage is 100 volt. I know my armature, right? I can go and calculate RST, right? So how much is the RST? Is the Vs over, Vs over I star minus R, right? So I calculate this one based on this one, right? So current jumps to this value. Now we have current going to this circuit. What is going to happen? I have current, right? So I'm going to have a torque. In K flux IA. When I have a torque, what is going to happen? No. The machine is going to start to rotate, right? This machine is going to start to rotate, right? So when machine is, because they have a torque now, right? Because I have current, I have a torque. When the machine starts to rotate, what is going to happen? E. I'm going to have E, right? The faster I'm going, the bigger E, right? And in general, I is this one minus this, right? This one is getting bigger, right? What's happening? Current is getting smaller. So basically, this current is going to start to go like this, right? And you say, hey, when the current is idle, I call it, for example, IN. Again, this one can be defined. You know how much it is. So at this point, hey, my current is good now. You know, I'm normal, right? Let's get rid of this piece, right? If I get rid of this piece, what's going to happen? The current is going to jump up again, right? So the current is going to go, but you have to make sure how much you're putting out. If you put too many out, it's going to go like this, right? If you put a little bit, it's going to go like this. It's going to take a lot of time to do. The best case is to go to the limit they let you, right? I'm going to select the right value to take it out. This one is going to jump, boom, to this value, right? So now again, I have a higher torque, right? The current again went up. Again, machine is going to do what? Go faster, right? So what's going to happen? The machine goes faster. The back EMF is going to go up. The current is going to go down. Again, this one comes here, right? Next time, another piece, right? Boom, boom. So again here, machine is going to go faster. But you see, I'm almost to the end. Maybe last time there is not enough resistor to out. But can we come up to here or can we somewhere here, right? And this one is going to go to the final value of current, which here there is no more resistor. I get rid of the last piece also. So now here, this one is going to go. See, piece by piece by piece, you know, we get rid of the resistor. If you keep the resistor long in the circuit, what's going to happen? It's going to dissipate power, it's going to get really hot, right? So you shouldn't go very fast, but you should go like, you hold it. Based on what size of motor. If it's a huge motor, so it's going to speed up the slow, right? So give it a little bit more time. Yeah. Hold it. Yeah. If it's a small machine, it's going to go fast because the ratio of machine, you can go a little bit. I think you have it in the lab. I believe you have this in the lab. You will practice this one when you are in the lab. The good thing is you have the lab for this machine. So now let's go through one example and finish. Okay? If you want to go through an example, if you don't want to get go, but I suggest you to let's look at the example, you know, because the example is all this number. Oh, there's one more example. I'll focus on it. So this motor starter, I'm going to solve it in the Tuesday afternoon class. But I'm going to go through one shorter example, you know, because like 10 minutes, I don't want to go over 10 minutes. Motor starter, I solved the example in the Tuesday afternoon class. There was a discussion session on solve that example. It says we have again, I'm not sure what kind of excitation is this, but we have a DC machine. RA is 0.7, RF is 0.5. Most probably this is a what? Series machine, right? Why? Because this resistance is very small. If it's a shunt machine, usually it's 100 amps, something 100 ohms, something like that. But this is a very look at here, they are comparable, these two, right? And V terminal is 120 volt. So we have a series machine, it has this parameter. Now it said when IA is 12 amps, the speed of the machine is 600 RPM. We have a DC machine, it has a RA this much, RF this much, terminal voltage this much. When armature current is 12 amps, the speed of machine is 600 RPM, right? Now, it said first, calculate the torque. Second, it said if N is 2400 RPM, if it's 2400 RPM, how much is IA and torque? How much is IA and torque? And consider machine is in the linear region. When I say linear region, means what? This two equation, right? Now let's go. Let's start with the first one. It said calculate the torque. If I'm going to calculate, this is series machine, right? And it's a motor also. We have RA, RF, EA,